The break is presented by Browning Trail Cameras. You've got to see this. Closed captioning is brought to you by Bison Coolers.
It's October 11th, and been kind of a slow, hot start to the season.
I came back into the stand and hunted last night. It's probably the best thing I got on this farm. Got my doe out of the way. Now I can focus on buck the rest of the year.
I just cannot get on the same path with these deer. I'm either too early on them or too late on them.
Hunting a funnel here, probably one of the best funnels on this farm. Hopefully, pitchforks one of these deer that come through here this evening. We can put an arrow in it for you. That is the buck I came in here after. Oh.
Whitetail hunting in Ohio. If you're hunting trophy whitetails, there may not be a better place to deer hunt in the country. Along with Dan Gross, who you saw in last week's episode, Jeremy Mills and Dustin Edwards are the Break's Buckeye Boys, and these guys are always hunting great bucks. Again, if you watched last week's episode, you saw some of Dan's successes over the years, but Jeremy and Dustin have had their own share of success as well.
All right, we're in our 2-day gun season here in Ohio. It's about 25 degrees. It's cold. It's overcast. It's supposed to snow here this evening sometime. I'm hunting over about a 5-acre bean field I planted earlier this year. I haven't hunted over it yet. Been waiting for this late season to kick in. But they should be on their feet. They've had a lot of pressure from the neighboring properties, so hopefully they show up in daylight tonight. So we'll just hang back and see what happens.
All right, here's my 2016 muzzleloader kill. This is the second season in Ohio for the gun. We just couldn't quite get it done in bow season, so we decided to reach out there with the muzzleloader. This is a standing bean field that we were hunting. This guy come in, just cruising along, just feeding up on these beans, storing up some protein for the season. We planted this solely just for this late season, and it definitely produced a great decision.
I've only been up here in the tree, I don't know, an hour and a half. It's only been daylight for about 20 minutes or so, half hour. And I haven't even had time to do a intro yet, so I'm sorry about that, but he's down. I think I missed the shot on camera. He got in here behind me. I couldn't get my camera any further around this tree. There he is. He didn't go very far at all. Actually, I can still see the tree stand from here. He actually only went 80 yards, so I was able to see him from the tree. I ranged him here like 80 yards, so I couldn't be more happy.
It's always the waiting that's the hard part. Sitting here. I know my deer are going to start moving in this spot. They move really late. So it's going to be, maybe I'll have 15 minutes of shooting light by the time the deer come in. So it's one of them spots. It's not a lot of deer to watch when you're sitting. But when the deer do start moving, it's generally, you're on them, and they're good deer. So. And there's so many squirrels. There's so many it's a noisy spot. And of course the barn venue behind me, about 400 or 500 yards. It's pretty noisy too.
All right, folks, this is the morning after my hunt that I successfully took this buck down. We just called him the Big 8. Me and my son have been chasing this deer for 4 seasons. I figure this deer is at least 6.5, maybe 7.5 years old. Just an old Ohio brute. A lot of mass, good character, nice wide deer. We haven't put the tape measure on him yet to see what he scores out at, but it doesn't matter to me. He's just an old mature whitetail that I was just tickled to death to have a season after season relationship with this deer. I mean, at times I felt he was hunting me. I know he was. I mean, he had me scouted out, and I changed things up completely this season. I've got a wedding venue. You'll hear in the background a lot of the footage. You'll hear the hooting and hollering. You know, everything told me there was a lot to talk me out of hunting this deer this season, especially last night. But I did get a trail camera photo of him in the morning that he was in there in daylight, and I was pretty confident he'd come back in the evening. So I was super excited, put a shot on him, dropped him. One of the most rewarding deer I've ever hunted in my life, and I was just tickled to be a part of this deer and keep him here at the farm. And
for as long as I can remember, the Browning name has meant something to people in the outdoors. So when I went looking for a trail camera that I could depend on, there was only one name that came to mind: Browning Trail Cameras. So if you're looking for a trail camera that's easy to use, is unbelievably reliable, and takes amazing pictures and videos, there's only one brand that I trust: Browning Trail Cameras.
Browning Speed combines advanced fabrics, tailored fit, and innovative camouflage. Hunt harder, faster, and stronger than ever. Speed, killer clothing.
This segment is brought to you by HHA Sports.
It's October 11th, and been kind of a slow, hot start to the season. So I'm gonna get started with some deer management here with some does. I'm gonna try to smoke a doe tonight. I'm hunting over this big food plot that I just planted late season. We finally got some rain. We've kind of been in a drought for the ending of the summer. Fertilized it, got some rain, and it's really sprouted up and got really green. So the deer just hammered it. Hopefully we get a bunch of deer moving through here in daylight hours. We can get a shot on it. So. What's going on, everybody? It's October 13th here in Central Ohio. I came back into the stand I hunted last night. It's probably the best stand I got on this farm. I slipped in last night after work and bumped a few doe out on my way in. And never did anything the rest of the night, so I knew the wind was still going to be good this morning. So I decided I was going to come sit back here this morning and hope to catch something cruising these field edges here. Heading to the food across the road there, so stay tuned here and see what happens. Got my doe out of the way. Now I can focus on the buck the rest of the year, so I'm gonna give her some time and there and bed down. I'll go get her a little bit.
In most parts of the country, it's important to take a doe or two out of the herd each season. I like to do it in the early season because the bucks aren't moving as much then, and it's great practice for a potential opportunity at a good buck later on. Dustin and Jeremy both got their does out of the way, and they've got some nice bucks to hunt. Jeremy has a new buck that showed up in 2019, and he named him the Flyer Buck. He gets his name from the giant flyer coming off his right tooth, and Jeremy is 100% locked in on that buck. It's all or nothing. Dustin has several good bucks on his property, but there's one particular buck that Dustin has been after since 2018, a buck named Pitchfork after his left side. Both of these bucks are very unique, and in my personal opinion is more appealing than the so-called perfect rack. It's October 29th. I'm in my set here in Ohio. This is my favorite spot. This is a beautiful, just a flat piece of land. I'm used to hunting big hills and hollers and things like that, so it just makes it so much easier to set up and get in here and get out. But this place is really growing on me. As I came in, as you'll see, like the leaves in the background are all changing. We're ending that near the end of October, so we're getting towards Halloween. It's on
pre-rut is on. So as I was walking in, there's some new rubs, some new scrapes. We just launched the Browning Defender cell camera. I've got the AT&T version. Thing works phenomenal. What's nice is I was getting real-time activity, deer coming through here today, so that I know the deer are on their feet today. So I ditched out of work early and snuck in here. I'm hoping tonight's going to be pretty productive. It's warming up. I'm not crazy about that, but for the time of year it is, you got to be in the woods. So we'll see what happens tonight. Wow, it's the morning of November 5th here in Ohio. I just got back late last night from Indiana. Went down to Jason Miles' house for his Wheeling for Whitetails event. So it was a great time down there for that event. Some of the veterans were able to harvest some deer down there, and just had a great time. This is actually my first morning here in Ohio for my start of my vacation here. It's been raining here all morning, overnight and all morning, but the rain should be moving out here in a couple hours, and I think these deer will be on their feet, freshening up scrapes and looking for that next hot doe. I did just had a decent buck, not one of the ones I'm after, but a decent buck came out of the woods over there, and looked like he was chasing a doe. I couldn't see a doe, but took off the other way across the farm, so hopefully that's a good sign here, and we'll see some good action today, so stay tuned. Maybe I can put one down for you.
Our veterans and those currently serving have selflessly volunteered for duty and risked their lives for the benefit of all Americans. With this in mind, the Niestedt Foundation was established to show gratitude for these individuals by providing the opportunity to participate in unbelievable outdoor experiences. Each event we organize is strongly rooted in our four guiding principles: respect, integrity, connecting individuals, and empowerment. Visit Niestedt.org to discover how you can create a brighter America for those who have sacrificed so much.
This segment is brought to you by Alps Outdoors.
Well, it's about 1:30. Rain's been out of here for about 3 hours now, and I'm finally starting to dry out a little bit, so deer movement didn't pick up quite as good as I thought it was going to once that rain moved out here today. I did get down for about 30 minutes. I got down about 11:30, between 11:30 and 12. And went back up to the truck and grabbed my Browning cell cam and walked across the field over here and put it over in the sapling thicket. So a lot of those deer come out of there and funnel across to over here and where I am. So hopefully, if anything comes out of there this evening, I'll know about it before they get here. So I'm excited to see how this Browning Defender cell cam works. So stay tuned here, and I'll let you know if I get any pictures, and see if there's any deer coming across here. It is November the 6th, I believe. 5th or 6th, one of the two. Days are starting to run together, but just got off work, got in here on my set about 2 o'clock. It's a pretty clear day. Well, clouds are actually moving in now, so that's good. But been chasing some good bucks this year. I just cannot get on the same path with these deer. I'm either too early on them or too late on them. Just a step in front of them or a step behind them, which is about typical for a mature whitetail around here. But we're going to see if we can change that up tonight. It's a great night. It's about 45 degrees. and we are going to get it done in Ohio tonight with a little bit of luck. So let's see what tonight brings. I just put out my Hunter Specialties etchers can. So the wind took it, carried it into this big wood lot, and then I'm going to start some rattling here. So we'll see what kind of luck we have with that tonight. Wow, it's November 7th. I'm back out here in a stand they call it back 46 stand. Just across this CRP here is where we've been getting pitchfork on camera. I got out here about noon today. Hunting a funnel here, probably one of the best funnels on this farm. These deer will funnel out of this CRP in front of me, right into this corner, down the creek bank to the other side of the road there. There's a green field over there, so deer either come from the CRP and go that way, or come from there and come back to the CRP this evening. So hopefully pitchfork's one of those deer that come through here this evening. Stay tuned here and hopefully something comes through and we can put an arrow in it for you. That's the buck I came in here after. That is the buck I came in here after. Oh, I wasn't sure what was going to happen tonight with the weather. I got cold. Had to go sit back in the truck for about an hour. About 10 minutes after I get back in the stand, he was chasing a small buck up through here. Came in, and as you seen, he gave me about a 15-yard shot. So, the shot might have been a little far back. I don't know. I'm probably gonna slip out and go back to the truck here and get some buddies here to help me track him. So, stay tuned, and hopefully we'll film a recovery here real soon.
Banks Outdoors is the place that connects family.
Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. That was unreal.
This is the place that connects friends.
Yeah, bro, you did it.
What a phenomenal story.
This is the place that brings excitement.
3, bro.
Most importantly, this is the place where memories are made.
Buddy. Dad, I will never forget this moment.
Neither will I, buddy. Neither will I.
Why do I shoot in Indian Creek? He's deader than a hammer. Indian Creek once again.
The break is brought to you by Mech Outdoors, Vortex Optics, and these fine sponsors.
Well, it's 7 o'clock here. We gave them about 4 hours to lay down there and die. Back home and wait on a few buddies to come back and help me go in and track. So we're gonna head down here and
pick up the blood trail and catch you guys at the deer. Well, it's about 6 hours after I shot him, and finally walked up on him here. But came in here today about noon. It was raining and snowing. I had a feeling I was gonna get the deer on the feet, but I sat there long enough that I got cold and had to go back to the truck. So about 2 o'clock I went to the truck, and to get warm, I sat there for about an hour and waited on the snow and rain to move out, and came back in here, and within 15-20 minutes of being in a stand, this guy came through and gave me a shot. So.
What an awesome buck for Dustin. He's been hunting that guy for a couple of years now, so that feeling you get when you finally connect, there's nothing better. Hopefully Jeremy can connect on his buck as well.
Hey, quick interview today. I'm running a little bit late. It's about 3:30. It gets dark about 6-ish, somewhere in there. But it's November 17th. The rut is full go. It's either you're having really good sits or you're seeing nothing at all. I'm running late, so I threw a climber in the truck, shimmied up a tree. Got my rattling horns with me, so I'm gonna do some rattling. I'm on over a travel corridor here, so we're just praying someone comes cruising by, so stay tuned. Could be a good night. Hey there, it's December 25th here. Still got my tags, so I'm still at it. Just finished up all the family stuff today for Christmas. It's a little warm, but I have this spot right up the road from my family's house that I haven't hunted for a while, so all the gun seasons are over, so I decided to slip in here. It's probably about 55 degrees today. It's extremely warm for this time of year, but I got high hopes. This is a good spot that hasn't been bothered all season, and I've seen some really good bucks on my trail camera. So hang tight. Hopefully we can get something to move. I imagine it's going to be the last minutes of legal shooting time before anything moves. I mean, these deer got their winter coats on them, so I mean, it's a blue sky. The sun's just blaring, so it's going to be a late movement, but it should be good, so let's hang tight, see what happens. All right, it's January the 2nd, 2020. Just started the new year. I'm slipping back in here to one of my spots. We've got good bucks in here. It's been a warm winter. It's just been tough to try to get these deer to come in. So it's finally, we got a cold front coming in. We got a storm coming in here in about a few hours. This buck I'm chasing is notorious for coming in here when it starts to rain, or right when it starts raining. He loves to come in at daylight when it's raining. So I figure I slip in here tonight and see what happens. We got cool temperatures. I think it's going to be a good night, so stay tuned with me here. Let's keep our fingers crossed, see if we got a little bit of luck. This has probably been one of the most difficult deer I've ever hunted in my life. He finally come in, the plan came together. You'll see on the footage, I don't think I got the shot. He wouldn't commit to me, knew something was wrong. 25 yards, I found a hole when he was walking broadside and put an arrow in him. And he ran maybe 150 yards on a sprint out to this field and piled up, so I can see his white belly out there. So my son Landon's headed out to meet me. I'm gonna go look for this thing or go pick this thing up and get you some pictures here soon. So, way to start out 2020.